All right, everybody ready? Can you just say ready in the chat if you're ready to continue? Just confirm that you've heard the things I've been saying. Okay, perfect. Appreciate it. Deadly mistakes. Deadly is correct for your business anyway. Although some of them could have effects on your health and could actually be deadly. So uh, let's just jump into it. So again, real quick, we're ASTPS. All we do is provide training and support for the tax resolution industry. So we don't do tax planning or preparation. We help tax pros do what we believe the highest level, most challenging, most exciting, most rewarding work that's available, which is tax resolution. So let's jump in to our first mistake that we see all the time. And that is, and this is for a tax practice. So it could be tax prep, it could be resolution, could be planning, could be a combination of all of them. But if we just look at it as like being a tax practice. So first one is having no plan at all for acquiring clients and retaining them, which is way too many tax professionals rely on referrals, and they have a lack of a diversified marketing strategy, which is a problem, right? Because it makes growing and just that much more difficult when you're relying on other people to send you work. And plus, makes it seasonal too, right? If you're only doing tax prep, you have no way to acquire any clients the other 7-8 months out of the year, so it makes it a little bit tricky. So diversification is going to be a bit of a theme on this quick little presentation today. And as the saying goes, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So if you only have one way that you're finding clients, it could disappear overnight, right? Maybe you have a person who refers clients to you all the time, and then you did something to offend them. Maybe they saw how you voted in the last election, you posted something, and now they hate you, and they're not going to refer you cases anymore, right? Or work anymore, or tax prep clients anymore. It could be anything. Maybe they found out you like the New England Patriots or something, and now they don't want to do business with you anymore. So you can't just rely on one source of revenue for your business and one source of clients coming into it. So that's the first mistake, not having a plan. It's very important to learn marketing if you're going to be running a business, even if you don't think that you need to because you just get referrals. Have a plan, think it through, and if nothing else, you should be orchestrating those referrals so that way you can try to get more, and that way they come in more consistently. Number 2, this one hurts my soul. It's very difficult. We had a mastermind meeting a couple weeks ago, and this was a main topic basically the entire time, is not charging enough. I would say 99% of the time that we talk to someone about their pricing for tax services, whether it's tax prep or tax resolution, it's just way too low. And a lot of that stems from imposter syndrome, right? Just not thinking that you're the real deal or that you're good enough, which is not true. You need to charge what you're worth, and you're worth a lot, especially if you're on this class right now. You're probably the type of person who should be charging more because you're dedicated to your education, you're dedicated to learning and improving your own skills, making you more valuable, and you need to pass along some of that expense onto your clients. So yeah, I mean, basically, I feel like in the last 2 months, I've had 10 conversations with people who are doing an insane amount of tax prep work. Specifically, they have like 800 clients, and they're like one person, and it's just not. It's very difficult to be sustainable that way, and it's just much better for you. It's better for your clients if you charge more and you provide a higher level of service. It's just you can't tell me that your service won't improve if you go from 400 clients to 280 clients, right? You'll be able to, first of all, you're going to make, more money as long as you're charging more, and you're going to be able to provide better quality of service to those people. So it's better for everybody when you do it that way, rather than cranking out, just return after return after return. and trying to make up money on volume. It's just very, very difficult to do that, especially with all the pressure that's on the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, just want to throw in something too that we often hear, like in the mastermind and stuff like that. When people say things like, "Well, I'm not you. I can't. You might be able to charge that much, or I can't charge that much, or for some reason they can't do it, but we can do it." I want to point out to you that maybe if you're newer than we are, and it'll take you a little longer to do a case, as long as you're getting to the right answer, we're looking to get to the right answer too. If you take your client to the right answer, why are you not worth just as much money as we are? So when somebody says, "Man, I don't know how you charge that much for a case," if your average cases be $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, how do you do? Bottom line of it is, if you're taking them to the right answer, there's no reason why you can't just charge just as much as we would charge, or anybody with a lot of experience would charge. That's what matters, the result. So just because so many people have said, "Well, I understand you charging more." No, that's not a good excuse.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And the other thing with this too, if we're looking at it from the resolution side of things, when a lot of people come in, they want to do work for free, or they want to do low cost work because it's their, first couple of cases. Well, here's what you need to realize is that some of these cases can go on for a year, right? So a lot can change in a year, right? So if you get a first couple of people and you want to do them for free, you might be working on them in 2026. And by the way, you might be charging people properly in 2026. So now you have to deal with the fact that you have two clients, right? One, you're basically doing the work for free. A year later, you're still working on that case, and now you have somebody who's paying you, $3,000 to do, or $2,000 to do an investigation or something, right? And so you have to put the same level of care into both of them because they can both sink your reputation, except for one you're not getting anything out of, basically, and one is paying you well. So it's very important to charge what you're worth, and not do things at low cost just because you don't think that you're good enough. Imposter syndrome is silly. So number 3, coming similar, I guess, to number 2, is allowing scope creep. And that's a huge problem in all of tax. Resolution cases can go to appeals, or have to go to tax court, or have could expand. If it's an audit, they could open more years. And that's why this presentation is really important, because you need to have everything very clear in your engagement letter about the work that you're going to be doing. In tax prep, it could be that your client gets a notice, and next thing you know, a lot of people, they get their tax prep client gets a notice. Next thing you know, they're doing representation work, and they're not paying, and the person's not paying them anything extra. And that's taking up your time. You got to remember, your time is very valuable. Life is short. You only have so much of it. Why? And there's enough people out there that want to pay you for your knowledge. Why are you giving it away for free? And once you start doing extra services like that for free, it's really hard to reverse course with that client. That's really another thing to think about, because every time you do something like that for free for client, just know in your mind that that client's dead. Like, they're never going to pay you extra for things in the future. It's kind of the same reason why you can't feed wild animals, because once they become accustomed to eating from you, they don't go out and do their things that their instincts tell them to do anymore, and then they have to be euthanized, right? So save your client's life. Well, don't be euthanizing people. That's called murder, and that's not good. But don't do it to wild animals either. And do the right thing and charge them, please. Number 4, horrible client communication. And again, our presentation helped big time with this, because if you have a really good engagement letter, you're able to set the expectations properly right from the beginning, and they know everything that's included and what's not included. And listen, a lot of tax pros are just really reactive with their businesses. So they wait for people to call them. They email somebody, then they cross it off their list, and they forget about it because they think they put it on somebody else's plate, and they never follow up. We found, especially in the resolution business, but it's really true for every business, if your proactive communication is really essential to keeping clients happy, and to help them help you by them not bothering you. right? Because if they know they're going to get a weekly update or a monthly update, they're not going to call you 3 times a week because they know that that was your agreement. You're going to follow up once a week or whatever, bi-weekly update or monthly update on their case. And it's going to help prevent them from pestering you, right? And it's be proactive, don't be reactive. And also that goes into the next one here, right? Stay up to date on the latest technology. So in my experience, tax pros are usually in one or two camps, right? They're either obsessed with workflows and automations and making sure that they have the best tools, or on the other side, they say, it's the way we've always done it, which, by the way, is like the number one phrase that I hate more than anything else in the entire world. It's just basically when somebody says that, they're just basically saying like, oh, I gave up on trying new things and I don't really care. This is just fine, right? But they're not interested in learning anything new. And by the way, these are also the same people who are typically like emailing sensitive files around, not using a portal. I mean, there's so many tools out there now that can help you, really well with client communication. We use TaxDome, taxdome.com/ASTPS. Actually, I have no idea if that's even a thing. Carolyn, look up our code before somebody types theirs in. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we use TaxDome as a great portal. You can chat. It keeps track of your emails. So there's a lot of tools out there. And by the way, when you use these tools, it helps you command higher fees because it shows that you're a serious business. If you're firing emails back and forth and you got your email address is like the best tax pro at AOL.com, like that provides no confidence in your level of service. I'm just letting you know that right now. May not be what you want to hear, but it's what I'm going to tell you today. So if you want to earn the highest margins that you possibly can on your services, you really got to be efficient with your time. And that means using, the best tools that are available to you. And you should be evaluating the tools that you use in your practice at least once every other year. Because a lot of these companies they're all competitors, right? So they're constantly trying to one up each other. And it's important to make sure that you're on the tool that's working the best and make sure there's nothing out there that's better. All right, number 6, not tracking anything in their business. It's very important that you keep an eye on your business. I mean, it's funny because so many of you might be doing accounting and bookkeeping and things for other businesses, but you basically pay no attention at all to your own business. It's important to do things like, who are your most profitable clients? Where did they come from? You may do an analysis and say, hey, these are my top 10 clients. I love working with them. They pay me the most. Oh, look, 6 out of the 10 were referrals from, this local attorney or something. And you never even put that together. Oh, shoot, I should be making sure I'm maintaining my relationship really well with this attorney that's referring cases to me. So, and vice versa, right? This other EA is sending me all these terrible cases, tax resolution cases. I don't want to deal with any of these people. They're all on my low. I got to go talk to her about the types of cases that I want and that I'm looking for, and make sure that's clear. So, what services are we earning the most money on? Is there only one? If that's also a problem, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Is our business growing? Are we getting bigger? Is our profit margin the same? How do our fees compare to others in the market? I mean, there's so many people who probably don't even know what their average fee is for tax prep because I mean, it's not always straightforward, right? Some are more simple, some are more complicated. What is the average? So it's very important to keep track of your own business. And as the saying goes, what gets measured gets improved. So if there's any sort of aspect of your business that you want to grow, by tracking it, you're going to improve the odds of you increasing it pretty significantly. And the last one here, number 7, no diversification. So just like it's important to have diversification in your marketing, it's really important that you have a little bit of diversification in the services that you offer as well. If you look at tax prep, for example, There's the IRS free file system that's coming out. You got TurboTax experts, new AI programs popping up. I really haven't even had a chance to look and see what's being developed for this tax season. I mean, last year there were probably 2 or 3. There's probably even more this year that are coming after this industry as well. So, for example, if all you do is tax prep and maybe you're doing some of these lower end returns, will those be around in 7, 8 years from now? I don't know. Number 8 of deadly mistakes. If I do this again, I'd probably add not planning. Actually, that should probably be number 1. Just not planning for the future. I mean, so many people take it day by day, or, they don't even think past like 2 weeks from now of what their plans are. So it's really important to sit down and create a development plan for yourself and for your business, and really think through where you want to go. And one of the things that you should really be thinking about is, where's the revenue coming from? Am I relying on only one revenue stream, one service? Is it just tax prep? Am I doing anything else? What happens if, AI explode, or one of these AI programs explodes and starts eating up some of these easy returns that I look forward to doing every year? So important to diversify. And at STPS, we believe, I guess, that one of the best ways to diversify your skills is not going to be surprising to you, but it's with tax resolution. So in the program we have for that, we call it our tax resolution accelerator program. And it takes people from being curious to competent to confident in tax resolution. And we compress decades of experience into just 4 days. So you don't have to struggle through the endless cycles of trial and error. You can learn from the experience of the instructors that will be working with you in this program. So we have Larry Lawler, who you heard from today, who has 5 decades of experience. You got LG Brooks, who's over 3 decades of experience. We have Steve Klitzner, who's our attorney from South Florida. He's got 30 years in the business. You got Angeline, who's answering your questions today. She's over 20 years. And myself, don't worry, I only do the marketing stuff, but I'm, funny enough, already over 10 years as well. And the whole idea of the program is to condense and clarify everything that you need to know to get started in the IRS representation business and resolve your first case. A couple people you guys were chatting in today, literally just talking about how you had a couple cases right now. I mean, that is excellent. If you have a little bit of experience, or you have a case that you're working on right now, that program is going to be absolutely perfect for you. But I will say, this is my caveat. If you're the type of person who likes to learn by reading 6 pages of a book or something before you go to bed, this probably isn't going to work out very well for you, because our program, it's a total immersion event. You have to be serious. You have to want to learn this information, because it's a lot. Right? We cram a ton into these 4 days, but don't panic. You do get the recordings that you get to go through for a couple of months afterwards. But just flipping through and looking at some of the stuff that you're going to learn in this program, all the tools that you need, which is amazingly not very much. In order to represent, you really just need a couple of things, right? You need, first, learn how to do it. That's where we come in. You get a tax resolution software like IRS Solutions or Pitbull Tax. It's about $1,000 a year. And you need some way to do research, case research. We recommend Parker Tax. It's, I think, $350 a year or something. So those are the 3 things that you really need to get started in a whole area of or a new industry, basically, or add this service onto your business, or to just learn it. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to start a tax resolution business. There's tons of jobs out there. Just go on Indeed and look up tax resolution jobs or IRS representation. You're going to find some pretty good paying jobs on there as well. So keep that in mind. But that's really the only tools that you need, those 3 things. You need to learn how to do the work, research, and the software to actually do it, which you can do it on your own. Actually, you don't even necessarily need the software, but it'd be kind of crazy. And if you're going to actually do the work consistently, you're going to want something like that. Well, I guess you need something to pull transcripts, so maybe you do need it. I guess you could get around it. It's okay. It's not a lot. Anyway, case onboarding. We're going to talk about screening prospects, doing the interviews, all the IRS personnel, how to access information, how to get transcripts. We're going to talk about how to analyze cases. We're going to talk about all the settlement options. So penalty abatement offers, installment agreements, currently not collectible, innocent spouse, dealing with employment tax problems, payroll tax problems, the appeals process, how to elevate cases if things aren't going well. We're going to talk about case management, so dealing with revenue officers, client communication. Obviously, not surprising. I just told you it was one of the biggest mistakes. So obviously, we're going to talk about how to do it right. Document management, firing clients that don't work out, closing out cases. And then where I come in, we talk about sales and marketing. So Larry goes over our system on quoting fees called the Tree of Wealth. I'll talk about building a brand using social proof, and then just flat out the best marketing strategies for tax resolution that are working right now, because we run the American Society of Tax Problem Solvers, and we also have Waller and Kowski CPAs, our tax resolution firm. So we are practitioners. Well, I'm not, but they are practitioners just like you. I'd run the marketing for our CPA firm as well. So we are all in this industry. It's not theory, it's the actual work, right? And right from the beginning, the first 5 minutes of this class, well, I should just say minute 1 and the last minute on day 4, there's no fluff in this course. There, like at all. It's, if you miss 10 minutes, it's not, did I miss anything important? The answer is yes. You can just, I'll just answer that right now. But in addition to the actual lecturing and things like that, we have 6 case studies that you're going to go through to actually put your new skills to the test and see how everything, the programs and everything work in action. We have 4 different assignments that you're going to get. We have unlimited Q&A. So throughout the entire program, you are going to be able to type in your questions and get answers. If you decide to come in person, obviously the whole team is there. You can get answers to any case questions that you have. Well, if you have case questions, you can get the answers online as well. And then we also have a community aspect. We have a website that we use to host our community during the event, which has been going really great this year. And it's actually open right now for our next session, which starts December 5th. But in addition to all that, we have 2 hours of prerequisite training, again, which is open now. We have 6 hours of bonus trainings that you're going to get at the end. We have 4 tax resolution checklists, 16 flow charts, 27 marketing templates. I know there's a lot of template junkies probably on here, so you're going to get all of that. We're going to have the sample marketing plan for you. We have our Q&A report. So all the Q&A throughout the entire event, we put it all together and make like a book out of it, and you get access to that. And then you get 90 days access to all the recordings. So you can go back through it as many times as you want in those 90 days. And then of course we have the community platform. Just a quick peek at that. Actually I can pull it up. I'll do it at the end. But just to give you an idea, we have lots of conversations and things on that. Some of them are more serious than others. Like how many coffees how many coffees are socially accepted during the morning session. So, just fun stuff like that. And just a little recap. So it's actually it's 27 hours of training, of the live training. Then you have the before and after bonuses and everything. So it's eligible for 27 hours of continuing education if you attend everything. You get all the samples, forms, templates, flowcharts, checklists. You can attend virtually or in person. Talk about that in a minute. There's 6 field training exercises, 4 assignments, unlimited Q&A. We're going to answer every single question. You get the community platform, and then we have 90-day access to the recording. So, I'm not going to get into it today, but if you think about the value of this, right? The average case, can be anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000. Lately, for example, we just had a prospect reach out today, schedule an appointment. They owe over 100,000 in payroll taxes and have 3 years of unfiled returns. I don't know, Larry, what do you think? What do you think the minimum on that's going to be? He's muted. Hang on.
I got to unmute me because I didn't want you to hear me snoring if I fell asleep over here.
Well, that's okay.
That case right now, I would estimate is probably going to be about a $13,000 to $14,000 case.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea. Um, so it's a very, it's actually a really interesting industry in that, our course, it starts at $14.97. If you want to become a member, it goes down to $12.72. Membership is $400 a year. You get access to six calls where you can call us and discuss your cases. So it's like an unbelievable value, plus tons of other things that you get as well. So really, if you get the membership and the course, it's like $1,600, and you have everything you need to learn tax resolution and support for a year. And then, of course, the membership's just $400 a year. Um, but the average case being 3 or 4 or 5,000 for something relatively simple. A couple of unfiled returns and an installment agreement is, bang, it's like $4,000 or $5,000 to do that work. And the cool thing is it's kind of like fishing, right? Put a worm on a hook, you throw it out into the lake, and you might catch, a giant fish that's 7-8 pounds, or you could catch something small. But there's really no limit as to the size of the case that you might be able to get. And there's some pretty big ones out there. I'm not sure what our biggest fee this year is, Larry. Do you know off the top of your head?
The biggest fee this year probably isn't even finished yet, but we've had several fees, $25,000 and $30,000. We've had a
Yeah.
number of those.
And this isn't,
Some
and
of
this
them are
isn't
still ongoing, so there's going to be more fees in them.
Yeah. And this isn't just unique to us, right? Again, like Larry was saying earlier, don't think we're special. I mean, we have plenty of members who do these types of big cases and get these big fees as well. So, um, there's lots of little things. You might get a person who comes in with 4 or 5 years of unfiled returns and just needs to get on a payment plan. That's still $3,000 or $4,000, and that covers everything you need to get it started, right? All the software, the membership, the class, and that you're making money on your first case. As long as you don't do the worst thing you can do, which is do your first case for nothing or for free, right? So pretty cool. A couple of reviews here. I won't read them all, but this was absolutely fabulous. Each speaker was great, and I appreciate each one. I've been taking CP courses for lots of years. This program is like a master's degree in tax resolution. That's what Keith said. Lorraine said, ASCPS always provides the best, most thorough tax resolution education. Once again, the accelerator did not disappoint. These are from our last accelerator back in August? September. I don't remember. August or September. Deshaun said ASTPS delivered exceptional presenters, expert practitioners, excellent communication. And Alana said ASTPS never ceases to amaze me. The instructors are extremely knowledgeable and keep you engaged every minute of the presentation, which don't forget, we're talking about tax resolution here, or we're talking about taxes, right? Engaged every minute. Maybe I should move that up to the front. That's pretty impressive. Skipping along here, explain to you how the course works. So it's a hybrid event. So you can attend. So we have, well, first of all, actually, let me just pull it up. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Just to show you. So if you scroll down here, so this is our next one. So we have 2 different sessions. So we have our virtual kickoff session. So that's December 5th. This is our last one of the year, and our last one until middle of June next year, I think. It's not finalized yet, but December 5th, it's 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that'll be virtual for everybody. And then the following week, December 10th, 11th, and 12th, we will be headed down to Dallas, Texas. So you can come in person, or you can attend the entire thing virtually. It's totally up to you, whichever way works the best for you. I will say, if you can make it in person, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. There's no replacement for the in-person experience, and being surrounded by, people who are all on the same journey, same mission as you. I've tried. I mean, trust me, people love our virtual classes, but there's just no substitution for coming in person and being around these people, hanging out at the networking events, getting to know people. I mean, we have people who've hired people from the accelerators, who've partnered from the accelerators, who've formed little book clubs where they get together on Zoom once a month and talk with each other, and have really just built friendships. So, and a lot of them have started at the accelerator. So there's really no substitution for coming in person. But listen, life, I get it. maybe you have kids, maybe you can't travel for whatever reason. That's why we offer it virtually as well. And our online community is great. So that is a tool that you have as well. And we do have one bonus. Actually, let me just show you this school real quick. Just so you can check it out and see what's up. So this is what school looks like. You head over to the classroom. So for example, here's your prerequisite trainings. So you have all of these different courses that you're going to go through to get you ready for the accelerator. So it's about 2 hours. So it's kind of a lot. And then if you go back to the classroom and you have your replays, your assignments, your resources. But here's where you'd find all of your your replays for the event. And this is an app too. So it's called School. You can download the app. You can watch all of these on the go, listen to them in your car, whatever the case may be, whatever works best for you. So I don't know why I didn't cross that out, but obviously we don't have a time machine, so we can't go back to Myrtle Beach, which was lovely. Had a great time there. So last one, December, it's going to be in Dallas, Texas. Actually, it's technically Fort Worth, Texas, but I don't know if it's widely known where Fort Worth is. Some Texas person would have to tell me.
It's right
So
across the street from Dallas.
Well, I know, but do most people know that? Do most people know where Fort Worth is if you tell them? If you're in Florida and you say, "Oh, I'm from Fort Worth," do you think they know where you are?
They do. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to take his word for it. He lives there. So maybe I should switch it to Fort Worth. So anyway, Dallas, Fort Worth, where we're going to be in person, or you can attend the entire thing virtually. And then we're going to do a bonus. So this is only for today. If you decide to come in person, I'm sorry, not in person. If you decide to register and you want to come, first of all, we're less than a month away. So the course is filling up. The in-person, I think, is over 78% or something like that, full. So we don't have a lot of time left and there's not a lot of spots left. So and on top of all that, if we want to encourage you, we have our intro to tax resolution course. And we're going to give you access to that now. I'll show you that. It's actually 8 hours long. Head back to the classroom. So it's basically, it's like a mini version of the accelerator. I say mini because it's about, I don't know, a quarter of the size, if that. But if you're brand new, this is a really good opportunity for you because by the time you go to the accelerator, you will have heard a lot of the material once, right? So the first time you went through it, maybe you had some questions. The second time you go through it, not only can you ask those questions, you can look for the answers. So it's a really amazing opportunity. It is not something that we do all the time. This is a $500 class. If you don't want to do the accelerator, you can go spend $500 and buy the intro course if you want. But for that, I would highly recommend you just bump up and do the full accelerator and get both. But yeah, a really, really great opportunity for that. So go to ascps.org/accelerator. You can sign up. We only have one option left. So it launches December 5th. It's a really great opportunity. I mean, I don't have all day to get into all the details, but if you go look up the reports that have come out of the IRS, the funding is going off the charts. Is really just starting to implement the funding from the Inflation Reduction Act. And, this year they spent $1 billion extra. It's made a huge difference. Next year's $2 billion. The year after that's $3 billion. The year after that's $4 billion. The year after that's, I think, $6 billion. Then like $7 billion. Then if they get the additional funding, which, hopefully they do, they want to go up to $10 billion a year, which is 10 times what they're spending now. So that's pretty incredible. Hopefully that pans out. But either way, there's not a lot of people who are solved tax problems, IRS problems, and there's a lot of need, and it's growing. The need is growing tremendously. So, Carolyn, honestly, my thing's stuck here on justice for Peanut and Fred, and I can't get by it.
I don't know much about that, but I have been seeing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's well, see, people are really upset about the squirrel. I'm sure the DEC does not like anybody to have any sort of animals. They confiscated somebody's alligator recently. I guess that didn't make the world news. Probably because the alligator didn't have a hat on. I'm thinking that's probably the reason.
Yeah, for sure.
But what was his name? I can't remember the alligator's name.
Albert. It was
Albert.
Albert the
Yep.
alligator.
And you
Albert the
would
alligator.
remember.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
no,
that's
it's
my
not a
house,
Hamburg.
wasn't it?
It's like
Yeah.
it's not that far from my house.
Yeah, the
Right.
guy had an alligator in his house, but to be fair, he did have a permit for it. They wouldn't let him renew the permit, and he had like a crazy enclosure in his house. But yeah, they don't they don't like you to have wild animals, and they can't release it, so they Peanut's gone. I've been seeing some crazy funny memes though about it. Him
I
with
just-
Hammurabi and
Yeah,
whatever.
being from Texas, I just have one thing to say. That was wrong, New York. That was just
Yeah.
flat out wrong. And, Peanut was cool, man.
This is getting.
Anyway,
I'm just
Anyway,
saying.
do we have any questions about what I just said?
well, Peanut paid taxes, okay? Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, perhaps.
okay, we have a lot of questions about the bonuses.
Oh, okay, cool.
Intro, I mean, it says it right here on the slide, but
Yeah,
they
today.
get access to that.
Oh, you'll get access to it today. Yeah, you
Yeah.
sign up. The school group's open, so you'll get a link to request to join, and in 10 minutes you could be watching.
And how long do they have for the replays of the classes, Mitch?
Yep, you have 90 days at the completion of it. 90 days from the end to go through it, so you can go through it a lot in 90 days.
And if people have been to the boot camp before, can they get the discounts for the returning attendee?
Sorry, this is the peanut stuff is making me laugh. You get 50% off if you want to come back forever, for life. You can come back every year if you want. You get 50% off. We have people who have been to the accelerator 7, 8 times. It's a great course.
And
If
the
you're-
boot camp does count for that.
Yep. Is the accelerator included the all access conference pass? No, that's not included. That includes our conferences. So our spring, summer, winter, and super conferences. So that's more for advanced people who have already learned the basics. So that's kind of the next step. So how it works is you go through the accelerator. Well, first of all, you have to be, licensed to do the work. You don't have to necessarily be licensed to go to the accelerator, but just keep that in mind. So once you're licensed, you learn the resolution through the accelerator. Then you can choose to try to get certified. So we have a certification program. So it's another, I think, like 20-hour course, recorded course that you can go through at your own speed. But you're only eligible for that once you go through the accelerator. So you could do that. Or you can start taking the advanced courses. So you can go our 1-day spring, summer, and winter conferences, and then we have a 3-day super conference. So that's what we have next week that we're headed to San Antonio for.
Yeah, that question came up a few times, as they're studying for their EA, can they then sit through our class? So
Sure. Yeah. Just, keep in mind that, I mean, it certainly won't hurt anything, I don't think. But yeah, just keep in mind that if you really want to run a tax resolution business, you want this to be a part of your practice, say you're doing tax prep and you're not licensed right now, get the EA, learn tax resolution, diversify your practice. So. No, those dates on there were from last year, the Niagara Falls, but we will be probably going back to Niagara Falls next year.
that's Jamie. We actually spoke on the phone this week.
Oh,
I'm glad to
okay.
see that you went.
That's
Jamie.
Carolyn, and she talked to Jamie
Yep.
earlier this week. What was that one? I'm still not in EA. I passed the exams, but still waiting for the treasury card, but I don't want to just wait and do nothing. So training it is, yeah, no, you're good. And I don't know what do you I guess they send you a packet, right?
Yeah,
Mitch?
after you pass the third test and you send in to get your stuff for your EA, I think it takes usually about a couple of months before you get the documentation.
Yeah, that's BS. That's way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you're good. You're good to go. Get ready to practice. That's cool. Robert, the bonus, he's asking what the bonus is. It's our intro to tax resolution course. So it's an 8-hour introductory tax resolution course that you get to go through leading up to the accelerator. Oh, good. Great question. Pamela was asking, is it more beneficial to be a tax preparer for individuals to start doing tax resolution? I'm more focused on business tax and worry about my confidence with individuals. Ange, why don't you answer that?
When it comes to resolution, it's a little bit of a different beast because you are in the position of advocating for your client and preparing like financials. So coming from a business background, you might have an easier conversion into doing resolution because we're focused on the assets and the liabilities of the individuals. We're looking at their income and their expenses and coming up with an income stream. So you actually might have an easier time coming out of the business world to work in resolution than coming out of the individual prep world.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about that at the meeting we had a couple weeks ago, and I don't know. I think that if it's, I'm curious what your take on that is, or if Larry's still here. I don't have Larry's still here.
I'm still
It
here.
seems like I don't think that it is wise. I mean, you don't have to do tax preparation to do resolution, right? Lots of people. We have lots of attorneys that don't touch anything, but you do lose a bit of the revenue from that. So in this type of case where you're not super comfortable with individual, maybe it could be just something that if somebody comes in and they have uncomplicated tax returns, you just do them, and if they're really complicated, just refer them to somebody else to do the returns, and you do the resolution. Does that
Right.
sound reasonable?
Sure,
Yeah.
there's a number of people that don't do returns themselves. They have a firm that they work with, and they just do cross referrals. The guy who does the prep, if he gets a resolution case, he sends it over. If the guy who does the resolution work, needs tax prep, he sends it over. And we talk about in the accelerator the best way to set up those relationships so that you're getting it done without a lot of headaches. So we can always help people with that.
Right, but what I'm saying is you could gauge the difficulty, right? So if it's
Yeah.
a super complicated tax return and you just don't want to do it, then just refer it to somebody else.
Sure.
But oftentimes we get tons that are not complicated.
No.
Right. So just take it case by case, and if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't do it. But that doesn't mean you can't do the resolution part of the case, right?
That's right.
So yeah, nothing. I wouldn't be worried about that at all.
What I'd be more worried about is if you do a lot of those small returns that Intuit is trying to say, well, you don't need an accountant anymore. After accountants put them on the map, now they're out there doing it. On top of that, you got the IRS setting up free file. So those little small tax returns, that might be the business that's going away, but you can get into resolution. That's not going to go away. It's a little different story.
I like that. Laura said, you can meet me at the December accelerator. I have 15 years of tax prep experience and she'll be happy to work with you. I like that. And then Pamela's asking, would it be possible for her to attend in person part of the day and go home the rest of the day? I guess if you live close, sure. We can help you make that happen. Ooh, Mira said, I agree. I'm at Intuit and AI is taking over.
You heard it here first.
That's scary.
That's crazy.
Is the bonus half price for members that attended Accelerator? No. You can get 50% off the Accelerator if you've attended it before. So it doesn't matter if it was this year, last year, 10 years ago. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so if it's your second one, then you are getting 50% off. Pretty cool. The price of the accelerator will be the same tomorrow, but the bonus won't be there. That's the only difference. But the price will be going up soon. It's going to go up 2 weeks before, which is coming up, which is scary. Catherine, you might be in the wrong school group, but if you just give Lydia a call, she can, or Carolyn or myself, we can definitely help you out. I don't know if you're in more than one group or not. We have a couple now. Yes, the bonus is part of the accelerator. Yep. You're going to get access to it a couple weeks before, well, you'll get it from now until the start. So the longer you wait to sign up, the less time you'll have to go through everything. Yeah, the price is, where is the price? There you go. So if you're a member, premium member, you get, it's $1,272.45. The regular price is $14.97, or the non-member price, but that will be going up soon. Nope, not 16, 14. Just to make sure, if we get today, we pay $748.50 if you've been before. Only if you've been before. If you've previously been to the boot camp or accelerator, that's the price. Otherwise, the first time you go through, you got to pay the full price. But yep, then you got it. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, appreciate you. We got one more. Do you know if No, I don't think the CE rolls over to the next year if you have too many. But don't worry, we do lots of free stuff. Just keep coming to our free webinars. That'll get you 12 or 13 hours alone. Yeah, don't worry about the CE. Worry about the money and making money. That's my number one priority usually anyway. All right, guys, take care. We will see you next time. Hopefully we kept you entertained and you learned something. But appreciate you being here with us, and we'll see you next month.
Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Peace out.